You see all the van life photos, you watch all the van tours, but do you wonder what this nomadic lifestyle is all about? Are you curious about life on the road? Social media calls it #vanlife. We call it home. I'll ask 10 questions to get you the stories that you want to hear from the people who live, work, and travel and adventure in this nomadic lifestyle. Welcome to Life on the Road. Welcome to another episode of Life on the Road, where I ask 10 questions to get you the stories that you want to hear from her life on the road.
Cool.
Oh, this has been a long time coming, this episode.
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome.
Thank you.
We are in Moab, Utah. We just finished 3 days with a massive group of our friends at the Flamingo stage. Shout out Adventure Bike Mike and DJI Ron in the Flamingo stage for what they just did this weekend.
And the Good Vibe Collective.
And the Good Vibe Collective.
The
and the Wonder Box. Yes, we can throw a lot of people's names in there for everything that they contributed for this weekend. Such a fun event. We were a few days post that event, just kind of out here, found a great camping spot last night, and decided instead of the normal shot behind her rig, we are in this beautiful location and couldn't resist walking out here and shooting where we are right now. So yeah, enjoy the view. It's really, really damn good. So yeah.
Also, I haven't cleaned my van since January, and I've done Baja and multiple dust storms here, so you don't want to see my van.
No, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. It's always the shot in front of the rig. That's the standard shot. But, so yeah, out here in Moab, we, like I said, just finished the Flamingo stage, and yeah, we're going to have a good conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. As we always start the show, tell us who you are, where you're from, and then how long you've been on the road.
I'm Blakeley. I am originally from Central Texas, and I've been on the road for just over a year.
Okay. What was your year anniversary?
February 22nd.
Okay. Yeah,
because one of my best friends in San Antonio was like, my birthday's 2 days later, and I was like, I love you, but I just can't stay here anymore.
I get it. I totally get it. So, like a little over almost a year and a half you're coming up on. Pretty close.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's getting there.
It's been a ride, man.
It has been. We're going to learn about your life on the road today. Question 1, what was the beginning moment, cause, or inspiration to live your life on the road?
My job quit me.
Okay.
I bought a house, and I lived in it for 3.5 years, and it was the longest I lived anywhere since I was 18 in San Antonio.
In San Antonio, sorry.
And I felt so unbelievably trapped. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die in this house. Okay. Not like when I'm 80, like tomorrow.
Yes.
Because I'm never dramatic at all.
Ever.
Ever.
Only 90%.
Never
of the time.
over the top.
Only 90% of the time.
But yeah, I was feeling super trapped. I only wanted to live in that house 3 to 5 years anyway. My job eliminated my position June 2021.
Okay.
I had just gotten the love of my life, my dog Smith, a couple months prior. And I joked around with some people. I was like, well, I might just sell my house and backpack. And all these people are real adults, like, 60 kids, adults. And they all said, do it. And I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not joking anymore. And I bought a one-way ticket to Europe. And then Europe was like, bro, COVID round 2.
Yes.
You can't come here anymore, US.
Yes.
So I called my dad and I said, do you want to help me build a van? And he said, no, you're crazy. And then I packed up my house. I had 4 days to pack it up after I had rented a trailer and traveled for a month.
Okay. So you did like touch on getting out and kind of being nomadic prior to purchasing the van.
Yeah, I
Just a
sold my
little bit.
house. They gave me 2 months
Okay.
to live there, or like a month and a half or something. And I said, cool. And I went on outdoorsy.com and found a little A-frame pop-up trailer.
Okay.
And I got all the way to San Diego and Grand Canyon, Zion, and back down
Okay.
to San Antonio. And I was
Okay.
like, I could do this.
So you had like, how long was that road trip?
30 days.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
like, I think it's such a great thing for people that are thinking about van life or thinking about this nomadic community is to test it. And I think
Yeah.
what you did is exactly perfect for, you know, the right amount of time that gives you kind of the, okay, I could do this, or maybe this isn't for me. Like
Yeah.
30 days in a unique vehicle, I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Could be a van, could be a pop-up. Obviously, outdoorsy.com is a great reference. You can rent any type of rig you want, and then to take 30 days and just kind of see
Yeah.
see if it fits for you, if you like the experience, you know, kind of all of the above. So I think that was great. So
Yeah, it taught me that my dog Smith and I could live in a small space.
Sure.
He is
He's
very okay with the driving.
He's a big dog.
He's a mini horse.
We will show
He's
some
my
photos
baby.
of Smith. The I don't know how to describe Smith.
Doofiest cute puppy in the world.
The doofiest cute puppy in the world. Yes, that's perfect
He's
description.
my baby.
Yes.
But we could live in a small space. He can do the driving. He loves new smells. He needed a dedicated space in the van.
Yep.
And I was not doing a trailer.
Yeah.
The hitch was broken on the trailer, and it taught me, like, it's a cool concept
Yeah.
to have a car outside of your house, but I can't do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
the van was the perfect
and was
fit.
the option, yeah.
Okay. So basically, it was your job, losing your job, and deciding that based on you did go to Europe though. Did you go to Europe and then come back?
No.
Okay, you never went.
Yeah, they closed it off
They
to
closed
the
it off. So,
to the
so it
US.
was just that was just a thought. Okay.
Yeah, I
But
had
then-
a one-way ticket. I had an Airbnb.
Okay.
My parents told me they'd watch Smith for 2 months. They
Okay.
didn't know that I wasn't going to come back for at least like 3.5.
Yeah.
But I felt really weird about leaving Smith anyway.
Yeah.
So when they closed off the EU, I was like, I don't want to have to research
Yeah.
every day before I decide I want to go somewhere else.
No, that's fair.
I don't want to have to do all these COVID tests.
And
I
so
really
that's
don't
what
wanna
rolled
leave
you to
Smith.
outdoorsy and trying to just do like a road trip in the States.
Well, the road trip had already happened.
Oh, you did that.
Yeah, I
prior.
hadn't. Yeah,
Okay.
I sold my house. I rented the camper. I planned out a road trip,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and I bought a one-way ticket for when I got
Back.
like once I had storage to my house.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
Okay, so then you get back to Texas, and then that's when the van build begins,
yeah,
basically.
yeah. I moved in with my parents, and it's super fun. We all wanted a roommate again. And
I can
no,
only imagine you as a roommate.
oh my God, I haven't had a roommate since I was 19.
Kill me now.
Please kill me. That's how my parents and I all felt.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I moved back in. I found a van, which in September of 2021
Was
is
a challenge,
yeah.
for sure.
I found a van that fit my specs.
We'll get to the rig. We'll get to the
Yeah.
van. Question 2, what has been your experience with other nomadic travelers while living your life on the road?
I think, yeah. I mean, you're the first person I met at my first van event, and
Yes.
you're like my brother.
Yes. So Blakeley and I have history as a year ago. We're coming up
Almost.
on a year ago. We met at Open Roads, a pretty popular van meetup in Wyoming, and we parked right. Idaho. You're right, Idaho, not Wyoming. Idaho. And McCall, Idaho. And we parked right next to one another, and were forced to become friends.
It's hard to like not talk to me because I'll just start talking to anyone.
This is very true. Yes. No, it was a
But,
fun event,
yeah.
and yes, we have been extremely close friends ever since. So yes, it has been a heck of a ride for sure this past year. But
Yeah.
talk about the rest of the community and your other experiences
I think the community as a whole is beautiful.
Yeah.
I have loved meeting people. They come from all walks of life. I've met people who live in a bus and weld, live in a bus and tattoo,
Yep.
live in a van and do stick and pokes, live in a van and do stained glass. Like, there's so much creativity. There's so much background.
Of course.
It's such a wide range of people. Just because we all live in vans doesn't mean we're all going to jive,
True.
but you will find your people.
Yeah,
And they
for
might
sure.
be people that you never expected to be friends with.
That's
and I
very
think that's
true.
beautiful.
I think that's very true. I think that living this lifestyle and traveling in the manner that we do really opens your eyes to, other individuals and then other places. And then, that combination of those two things, you make friends in unexpected ways. And I think that is a beautiful part of this community. And I can honestly say that, some of my closest friends now are just, people that I'm so glad that I've met, but I would never have, had the opportunity to meet them if not living the way that we do.
Yeah.
But
Jess always tells me, if we were in the normal world, like, I don't think we would be friends. Like, we don't, like, mix. Like, I'm calm, you're not calm. And I'm like, you're very right.
you and Jess,
But, yeah,
shout
we're
out,
on paper not friends.
shout out
but
Jess, episode, I believe it's 4.
the one who talked about Aaron all the time.
Yes, Jess and Aaron.
I'm also a friend.
Yes. But I see that. Like, that makes perfect sense. You guys are very opposite ends of the spectrum. But, when we travel in this lifestyle and we meet up, it makes sense that you guys are just friends. I mean, it's, again, it's a kind of a testament to the community and just terms of how we live the lifestyle that, like, we have so much in common in terms of the way we live. And so, you can find commonality with people or individuals that you might not typically be friends with, which I think is really wonderful.
Yeah.
Question number 3, what has been your biggest failure and what has been your biggest triumph while living your life on the road?
I think my biggest triumph is that I didn't get stuck once in Baja and
There you
didn't
go.
have a tire pressure gauge or compressor. I didn't have max treads or go treads. I didn't have a jump starter.
Okay.
I didn't have a Starlink.
Okay.
I didn't even have a shovel.
Okay.
And I managed
Okay.
to never get stuck.
Let's just
But on the
say
same token,
all of those things are not recommended. If you're going to go to Baja, take that list that she just did and go
buy
get all
of them.
those
Yeah,
things.
that was also my biggest failure.
Be
I
prepared.
went a year in van life without any sort of recovery or survival tools.
Probably not a wise decision.
Yeah, while it was a triumph and like good for me, and I did like at least 6 months completely solo.
Yeah.
Don't do that, especially as a solo female. Like, do not do that.
Yeah, not a wise decision at
At
all.
least have like 3 of those things.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Yeah.
At least have a shovel. At least have some max tracks of some kind, some type of like traction boards.
Even a yoga mat will do.
Well, yeah, something.
Something,
I don't recommend a yoga mat. Carry a yoga mat for other reasons, but some type of recovery board for sure. Yeah, no. I mean, obviously, if you're just smart in Baja, I didn't experience Baja this winter, and that's fine. Everybody else in the world did, and so I get it. But yeah, I think if you're just wise and you don't make
Know how to drive your vehicle.
Yeah, or just know the
Promasters are front wheel drive.
know the capability of your vehicle.
Don't put them in deep sand.
Yeah.
The front tires.
Exactly. So your triumph and your failure are one and the same.
Yes.
Yes. You're not the first person to answer the question like that.
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense. Question 4. Did you start your life on the road as a single person, and what is it like living your life on the road as a single person?
As I've said, I found the love of my life before van life.
That's right.
Smith is the love of my life, so I've never been single.
He's a giant, slobbery, lovable, dopey,
just like
man
a
of your life.
fluffy, hairy.
Touche.
No, I've been
amazing.
single. I've actually been single for 13 years
There you
by
go.
choice.
Yeah.
My last relationship ended in a crash and burn. Don't turn 21, meet a bartender, and then date said bartender, because it's not that it was all bad, but there was copious amounts of alcohol involved.
Called being young and dumb.
Yeah, young and
fine.
dumb.
It's fine.
It's my specialty. But no, I decided to like take some time, figure it out, fall in love with myself, and then I felt like way too in love with myself, and closed off a lot.
It's fair.
And I've opened up a bit.
What has been single life like on the road?
It's been fun. There have been times, I will say, like when I first started out, I would like camp. There were two specific times. One was near the Guadalupe Mountains and one was in Sedona, where I would camp with people. Like I would park near someone, you know, BLM land is kind of like you find like a little section and you kind of, there might be 2 or 3 other vans there. So you kind of meet those people and, you know, you meet single guys and you're like, oh, cool, friend. And, oh, let's go on a hike tomorrow. And like, yeah, they're strangers, but when I started out, I was like, oh, everyone in van life is normal, right? No, they're not. Like I had people trying to hold my hand. I had people trying to make out with me on a hike. It was creepy. But the best part about living in a vehicle is like I would go on the hike and have something weird happen. And so the next day I would, you know, we would have planned another hike and I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, I got to go do something with the van, but go ahead, like I'll catch up with you later. And they would leave and I would go to another state.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Just full other state.
I mean, it's it gets said all the time, and for a solo female traveler, and I mean, we don't have to talk about it in this question. I think there's other questions that reference it better, but it makes perfect sense. If you don't feel comfortable in any situation whatsoever,
just leave.
Just leave. You live in a vehicle that has 4 wheels and can take you to a different place. Like just go.
Just go.
And I think it's one of the best pieces of advice that anybody can have in general, but then specifically for a solo female traveler, I think it's great. Like just knowing your intuition, like trusting what you think and feel, and then if it doesn't feel right, you just leave. So
the area will always be there for you to go visit
you can always
again.
come back.
It might not look the same as last time.
100%.
There might have been a fire or a flood, but it will be there.
Yeah, of course. And again,
but your safety might not be.
Correct.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Absolutely. You have to leave and take care of yourself, which is great. Obviously, these beautiful locations that we're sitting in, you know, we can visit anytime. So, but, you know, yeah, your safety and your well-being is the most important thing as you travel. So, makes perfect sense. Question 5, what is the best place or craziest place you've had sex during your life on the road?
Chad.
Is this a brother asking his younger sister if she's had sex?
I was raised in a Christian household. I am the Virgin Mary.
Oh, Jesus,
I would
Lord,
never
help
do
you.
that.
I know.
And also beaches.
There you go. Beaches. It's perfect. I get it. And I haven't actually put the rig in actually I can't say it. Yeah, near a beach yet.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah, I know. I just love
So beautiful.
I just love the snow. So I get it. But beaches are a good spot.
This is the difference. Like you're in like sandals and shorts and I'm like about to put on my other jacket because it's windy.
It's a little chilly where we are.
I don't love the cold.
We're kind of on an exposed point. It's definitely not cold. It's a little chilly. It's not cold.
I'm freezing.
I know. Question 6, how do you make money while living your life on the road?
I loved being somebody that was never employed and people would be like judgy and like, oh, well, must be nice to be a trust fund baby. And I was always like, dude, right? I wish I was. No, I sold my house at the height of the market in 2021 and I made
good money.
Double and a half what I paid for it.
Okay,
so,
good for you.
But I also like said my first year of van life, like I'm just gonna do whatever I want. I'm not budgeting.
Okay.
That was dumb. Highly recommend you budget. If you have a ton of money to play around with, like don't use it all in a year.
There you go. That's good advice.
I loved my first year, but like man, I wish I still had more so I could do that. But now I am working 2 jobs in Moab for till summer, till it's too hot.
Okay.
And
so we're here now in Moab, obviously. We're just here, but so you're going to be posted up here for a bit, just working for a while.
Yeah, I'll have 2 days off a week to explore.
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of time in Moab, and I've done a lot of the hikes, so I don't feel like pressured to like run around like crazy every chance I get. But it will be nice to be able to like do some hiking on my days off or just lay around in bed and do nothing.
Yeah.
But it's kind of exciting to get back to work.
Yeah.
I'm very uncomfortable with it.
I think you're going to have an opportunity to meet, people here in Moab, which I think will be great.
Yeah.
But then also just experience Moab, like hang out in Moab, become like just, a little local.
Be like a
in Moab.
local.
Exactly, which I love. Question number 7, let's talk about the rig. What is your vehicle, who built it, and why did you choose it to live your life on the road?
It is a Promaster Disaster 2021.
2021, not extended.
Not extended. It's a 159 wheelbase because I have a massive mini horse of a dog.
Is a small pony.
Yes, and he needed space. I was, or am, I don't know, what do you call it? My career was in interior design, so I planned it. I had a friend.
One thing we have in common.
Yes, just one of the many.
Of the many.
I had my friend help me kind of think it through and plan it.
Why the Promaster?
The Promaster is because it was square.
Yep.
And because post about 2016 to 2018, the transmission issues were gone.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Yeah,
and so it was pretty reliable.
That's a good note for people thinking about van life. Yeah,
do your research.
Yeah, pre-2016, the Promasters had some issues. Lots.
Also, don't even think about a diesel Promaster. That thing is a joke.
Okay. Well. Yeah. So okay, that makes sense.
I wanted something that could be worked on in any country that I took it to.
Okay.
Simple parts, not made elsewhere.
Yes. German.
Yes, not
Mercedes.
something you have to take to a specialty place.
Sure.
Like a Sprinter.
Yes.
Also, I didn't want to spend half of my house sale money on the van itself.
That's fair.
I planned the build. I had my friends, John and Kai, help me. Their company is Carrot and Honey in San Antonio, and they helped me think through some of the build.
Okay.
John's stepdad's house is run partial, if not at this point, fully on solar, so he helped me understand, and he's built a van before.
Okay. So
he helped me understand power systems.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Helped me plan that out.
Nice.
And then my dad and I built it. My dad did the electrical, plumbing, and propane.
Nice.
And I did everything else.
Nice. Okay.
So.
How long did the build take? How long were you constructing it? Like from the day you purchased it till the day you
I purchased it like the first 2 weeks of September and
2021.
2021.
Okay.
And I was out mid-February. I was done. But 3 weeks of that was traveling in Germany.
Sure.
2 weeks of that was traveling in Antarctica. And there were days where it was just too cold to work. So probably took about 4.5 months total.
Okay.
For like all of the little details here and there.
Okay.
But
your van has a lot of little details, little touches. So yes, the designer of you shines through. So we'll definitely show some pictures of the rig. No, it was great. It's really unfortunate that it didn't get toured as much as Althea at open roads, but
Well, I also wasn't like, oh my God, do you want to tour my van?
Shut up.
Oh my God, hi, it's nice to meet you. My name's Chad. Do you want to look at my van? Oh my God, I would take a nap and there would be people touring your van. I would wake up like an hour later and there was a whole different group of people touring your van.
It has been a running joke ever since I met Blakeley that yes, at open roads there were quite a few tours given of Althea and.
Oh, I didn't write a sign-up sheet on your window this time around at Flamingo for your van tour schedule.
I appreciate that. Question number 8. What is your best bathroom, number 1 or number 2 story from Life on the Road? First of all, is there a bathroom? Is there a toilet in the rig?
There is. It's a cassette toilet.
Okay.
Because I didn't have room for a taller one.
Yeah. And it's honestly, it's the answer most people give with the reason why a cassette toilet is in the rig. Because they're small and compact.
Yeah.
They suck, but they're small and compact.
I had one time where there was a dump, and I used to use it for everything.
Yeah.
And I have since learned to use it as a pee jug and just poop in bags like the majority of van lifers.
Yes.
It is what it is.
It's easy.
line the toilet with the
Yes,
bag, so I'm
yes.
still pooping in a toilet. I
Yes.
just then have to throw it away. But I also have dog poop bags, so like, which is which,
It's perfect.
you'll never know. And now it's just a glorified pee jug.
Yeah.
Which is so much easier.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go to Baja, there are very few RV dumps. You've
Yes.
got to make the switch.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
when I did it.
Having a legit toilet really does help, especially, yes, in Baja. But I think just in general, like, you know, national parks, like whatever. I mean, it's even become a problem on BLM land and Forest
Yeah.
Service land. It's why, you know, one of the many reasons why 525 got closed down in Sedona.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, and we will link to it, how to poop in nature. We talk about it all the time in this community. Like, it's kind of ridiculous that,
Yeah.
you know, people don't understand or know how to poop in nature. So, yeah, no, I think it's...
I just don't want to poop in nature. I want to poop with my windows showing me nature while I'm enclosed in my van.
That's totally fine.
But I don't judge people that want to
Yeah.
squat over the ground.
Yeah.
I just think about, like, what if a snake came? Or a spider or a scorpion. I'm from Texas. Like, I think about things that want to bite and pinch me while I'm pooping.
Or you could be Sammy and squat on a jumping cholla. It'd be really bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I rest my case.
No, I honestly, it's, I mean, it makes sense. Like, your use of the cassette toilet, I think, is very much sound.
Shout out to Jess. She's the one who told me how she used hers.
Yeah,
And I was like, cool, I'm
There
going
you
to
go.
copy you.
there you go. Okay.
And it works.
Well, good job, Jess, for
Yes.
helping Blakeley out with that.
Thanks, friend.
Question number 9, describe the happiest and hardest moments while living your life on the road.
See, that one is so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard because the highs in van life are so high.
Yes.
But oh my God, are the lows low.
Yes. That is a perfect description of the lifestyle. It is very challenging from that perspective, and it's good for people to know that going into van life. That,
Yeah.
you know, you're going to experience some of the best things that you're ever going to see in your life. Period. Full stop. Like, these stories will live with you forever and ever and ever and ever. But you're going to find some of the lowest moments in your life.
Period. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had some dark days as an angry 8th grader, but I mean, this was like, I mean, I have been to 2 of my 3 favorite places on Earth
Okay.
in the van.
Okay. So
Obviously,
this is going to fall into the happiest, I
yeah,
assume.
like Antarctica obviously was not in the van, and
Yeah.
that's obviously number 1.
Okay.
But there's an arch here outside of Moab, and it's a very long hike. It's like about a 12-mile out and back. So it takes a while to get there, so not a lot of people go. And just the sheer size and scale and, like, how did nature do that?
Yeah.
And it's just awe-inspiring.
Nice. It's amazing.
And there's a beach in Baja that I went to that I will always fall in love with. And I saw bioluminescence one night, which is not common on that beach. And it was just me and a friend, and nobody else was awake to see it. And it was
Nice.
such a special moment. But on that same beach, getting to that beach, the road was the roughest road I've ever driven.
Okay.
And I will say I also drove it like an asshole. The first time I was like, oh, I don't want to get stuck. So I just floored it.
Take care of your rigs, people.
Yeah,
Like,
don't do that.
Don't do that. There's
Yeah.
been some other references of just sending it, i.e. Sloan. Don't these are your homes.
I had another friend that sent it on that road and busted a shock.
Yeah, like take care.
don't do that.
Take care of your rigs.
But yeah, my solar charger fell off the wall. The wires came out,
Okay.
crossed,
Okay.
touched
Oh, good
in
Lord.
the wrong spots. Negative bust to the solar charger.
Oh, Lord.
We are an hour from Cabo.
Yeah.
We are like in the middle of
nowhere.
nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna have to leave. I have too much battery power
Yeah.
to be able to idle my van to recharge it. Like, I'm gonna have to leave Mexico.
Yeah.
We're at the furthest south point. I'm like, I'm gonna have to send it back by myself. But at the same time, I had a friend who had offered to, he was like, I will drive you to Cabo if I need to, if that's what it takes. So when it was confirmed that solar charger was dead, he got on his bike, I found a solar charger in Cabo.
Nice.
I had to spend double the amount of money it would have been on Amazon, but he was able to drive over there, pick it up, bring it back, install it, and I was back in business.
Okay.
But the low of being like, oh my God, like I broke my rig, I can't charge my batteries. It's so low.
Yeah, no, and it gets talked about all the time on the show. Is
Yeah.
issues with your van or issues with your rig is always some of the lowest moments in van life or nomadic travel. You know, when you're broke down or you have parts fail and you have to take it in or you have to get things fixed. Yeah, it's always hard because it's your home at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
everything's gonna break, but some breaks are a lot more difficult than others to like mentally deal with.
For sure, no doubt. But like it's something you need to prepare for coming into this lifestyle, period. Like you have to have the outlook of, you know, this is gonna happen. Like it happens to everybody, no matter what. Like
you're allowed to scream and cry and melt down, but if you can't keep it together enough to fix the problem, or at least get to a point where you know where you need to go to fix it.
Yeah, just finding
then
help.
you can't do van life.
Yeah, it's true. It's a good kind of, I guess, point to make. You know, I broke down in the first month I had Althea, brand new rig, and she broke down. Like it's going to happen to everybody. I don't care what rig you buy. And, and having, you know, yes, to your point, you can scream and yell and cry, and that's fine. But at some point, you're gonna have to stop and then realize, okay, what do I do?
Yeah.
Like, let's think about this. Who do I call? Where do I go?
Yeah.
Who can I reach out to? All of these things will take place.
Have your mental breakdown, but have the mental fortitude to then
just keep going.
Get into proactive mode.
Yeah, for sure. And again, usually, sometimes those become some of the happiest moments when you get things done and you get things fixed. So, like, I totally get it. But it's something you should be prepared for in van life or nomadic travel. Like, that stuff's just going to happen all the time. So, and then the wonderful thing about this community is there will be people there to help you. Like,
I just happen to have an electrical engineer at that beach.
Exactly. So those types of things happen all the time, you know, where, you know, again, we are with some friends here today that are installing a heater in your van. Yay.
Yes.
Exactly. So
they're dropping me off at work and then coming back to install the diesel heater in my van.
It's amazing. Yeah.
I love this community. These people are great.
This is how our community works. Shout out to Crux and Beta. They are amazing.
Jess and Sean are pretty cool people.
Pretty cool people. Which their interview is coming soon as well. So the last question, in your own words, define #vanlife. And then offer a piece of advice for somebody wanting to live a life on the road.
Van life for me has just been affording myself the freedom to explore this country. Other than visiting family and going skiing every spring break growing up, I never really explored the U.S.
Okay.
I've been abroad a lot.
Yeah.
I've been really lucky in my travels, but I mean, I didn't even know that the west side of North and South Dakota was beautiful.
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
It's amazing.
For sure.
Never would have known that if I wasn't
in a van. Yeah, of course.
It's also allowed me to explore like my own boundaries in a different way.
Okay.
And I think that also leads into advice. I preach about boundaries to people.
Well, before we get to the advice,
okay.
I want to touch on, obviously, the use of the word freedom, which is great. I think 80% of the guests on the show have all said that, which is crazy to me, and I think, but makes perfect sense, and everybody has defined it differently. So, like, and I love how you defined it. You defined it in two terms. It's the freedom of travel. It's the freedom to go see places that you've never experienced before. But then it was the freedom to learn about yourself along the way, which I think makes a lot of sense.
The people in this community are a lot more okay with weird, like truly, truly weird.
Of course.
And they accept it and they embrace it.
It's the best part of this community, I would say. Yeah.
So you really, like, you don't have to be anything
but
except
yourself.
Who you want to be.
Exactly.
In the moment. And you're also allowed to change who you want to be as many times as you want to explore your life.
Yeah, I mean, again, whatever that means to you as an individual, you know, in terms of your growth or, you know, what you're experiencing or, you know, the places and the people that you want to go and how they affect you, you know, those are all positive things and happen every single day in this nomadic community.
People really want you to explore your feelings in this nomadic community.
Well, I think people should explore their feelings everywhere, but
I was not raised with feelings, so it's been a lot for me.
I get it.
But yeah, people just, they give you the space to explore who you are.
Yeah, of course. And then the freedom of travel and seeing places, obviously you touched on them with the arches here in Moab, and, you know, obviously the beaches in Mexico are beautiful, but, you know, being able to see and hang out with you in Idaho, and I mean, we've traveled to many different places together, and yeah, it's incredible to be able, and it was part of the reason why I built Althea as well, is to see places in the country that I'd never experienced.
Yeah.
And so I totally can relate to that, and I think it's, you know, I think it's a good reason to build a rig at the end of the day. Like, if that is your only reason, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Just do it. So, and your piece of advice you'd give someone wanting to live a life on the road?
Like I was saying, I preach about boundaries, and like, if you close the van door, everyone knows that you just need some of your space.
Sure.
And, you know, it's okay if you need to go camp alone, and it's okay if you want to like go hike alone, or it's okay if you want to like be around people 24/7. But I feel like I haven't given that to myself in a while. I've been saying I need to camp alone for like 4 months now.
Yes.
And I have not.
Yes. Well, we have decided that for you.
Yes, I have been quarantined to camp by myself for at least a few days, because
at least a few weeks. Yes.
No, I can't do that.
Yes.
But I think it's important to listen to your own boundaries. Like, you know, you have friends come into town and you're like, I might not see them for a year if I don't hang out with them now. And while that sucks, it's like, if you need that time to yourself, that's what you need.
Yeah, of course.
And if you like want to camp with a group of people, but you don't want to camp with a massive amount of people, and that's what happens to your camp, it's okay to leave.
Yeah, of course. Well, and again, too, I think going back to maybe what we touched on before with solo female travel, when we were talking about that, it's just listening to your intuition, listening to, you know, what is best for you, you know, and again, some situations in this community, or like, you know, whether it's massive social events, which we were just at, they can become a lot. And, you know, sometimes for maybe somebody that's extremely introverted, that becomes very difficult. That environment becomes very difficult.
Or extremely extroverted.
100%.
Because it's exhausting.
It can go both ways, to where you wear yourself out and you need a break and you need some time to kind of recharge, or, you know, kind of just calm down, those types of things. So, I think if and when you start this nomadic lifestyle, I think that's great advice, is like listening to your own personal boundaries, or understanding your own personal boundaries in terms of how you tick, what makes you feel good, you know, how you maybe recalibrate, you know, those types of things. Understanding those types of things are really important in this lifestyle. And as we travel around, because again, we touched on it earlier in the show, you're going to have super low lows and super high highs. So when those low lows come, and I've been very open about it this year with my own personal experiences, they hit you pretty hard. And so having a really good understanding of yourself is a super key. So I think it's really good advice. Really good advice.
Oh my God, thank you.
Blakeley, those are your 10 questions.
I think I did good.
You did good. Of
Thank
course you did good. I knew you would do great. Yeah, we've been talking about this interview ever since I started the show, and it's taken us, almost like 6 months.
I think when you posted your first episode, I called you and said, "How dare you not interview me
for the first episode?" Yes. I knew that could not happen, so I knew the better of that.
It's hard to find you. You kind of bounce around. How many miles does Althea have now?
43,000 in less than a year,
a year. Okay, that's shocking, because like I have more than you.
Yeah.
In just over a year.
But you also went to Mexico.
I did.
Yeah, that's a big trip. So.
I did.
And I drive.
And Canada.
And Canada. There you go. I haven't been to either. So.
Next year I want to do South America.
I'm not doing South America.
Oh, okay.
So, we are going to go experience. Actually, you got to go to work. And I am going to go probably help Crux and Beta put in your diesel heater. So we're going to go experience Moab for a little bit today. And
Oh, wait. Another piece of advice that Crux and Beta will give you.
Okay.
If you think you might potentially ever need something in your rig, do it while you're building your rig.
Yeah. Putting it in post is really a challenge.
Retrofitting sucks.
Yeah, retrofitting your van does suck. But it's okay. Like, it is always possible.
Yeah,
like,
you
that's
can
the beauty
figure
of
it out.
You can figure it out. It's
you
just
also start running out of space.
Yeah, it's just never easy.
No.
So I got it. I get it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go. You need to go to work. And thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you on the next episode. Please like and subscribe to the channel. And, yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God, it's so bright.
Okay, say something.
Hello. How are you?
You're good?
Hair up or hair down?
That's up to you. The light right now is actually, like, backlighting your hair quite well. It looks nice.
Do I look like a goddess?
A goddess. Oh, that'd be bad news bears.
There's a stick. Oh yeah? It's because you're so popular.
Shut up.
You're just like such an influencer.
Shut up. An influencer.
I feel so influenced to be your friend.
I did some influencing this weekend.
You sure did.
No.
Droning it up.
Yeah, that's for sure. There's a giant spot on that lens.
Does it show?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think so. It doesn't show. That'll be a quality blooper outtake. It's like thumb the lens. But the glow, the lighting, the natural lighting behind your head looks
Phenom.
phenom.
This view is beautiful too.
Yeah, it's pretty epic actually.